Oh, Sri Dakshinamurti Stotram by Bhagavad Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Today we shall start the main slokas as composed by him. In the earlier three classes, we have undergone the deity Sri Dakshinamurti as a benevolent form of Shiva. Then we have studied the dhyana slokas meant for meditation, and the Dakshinamurti Pranama mantra, and the Dakshinamurti Gayatri mantra. So after those past three classes, today we can start with the first verse from the Mool Dakshinamurti Stotra as composed by Bhagwan Sri Shankaracharya. Just to recapitulate the earlier few of the dhyana slokas, which will remember and remind us about which was the last sloka we have done, studied in the dhyana sloka. In short, the fourth dhyana sloka was like that in the screen. Nidhaya sarva vidyanam bhishaje bhavaroginam gurave sarva lokanam dakshana murtaye namaha. Salutation to Lord Dakshinamurti, the abode of all wisdom, Nidhaya Sarva Vidyanam, teacher of the whole world, Gurave Sarva Lokanam, healing those who suffer from the disease of samsara, Vishaje Sarva Rogiyanam. After that, we studied the fifth Dhyana Sloka of the last day, Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanainkamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Salutations to Lord Dakshinamurti, who is the meaning of Om, whose form is pure knowledge, who is chanteless and utterly silent. As we said earlier, in some places there are another one or two few slokas available, which we have discussed in our last class. We'll mention the sloka here only today. Ishvara Guraratmeti Murti Bhedam Vibhagine Vyomavyat Vyakta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Ishvara, Guru, Atman, unveiling these different forms of apparent separations like a sky, that is, the spiritual sky or Chidakasha, which pervades. Salutations to that Dakshinamurti. With this, we must start now the main sutra. But again, in some of the verses, in different variations of the sutra, there are found two more dhyana slokas also. We will just mention the name of the dhyana sloka and the verse and the translation, and ideas will come in when we'll study the main sutra. The another dhyana sloka is such, we are just reciting it out. चिद घनाय महेशाय बतमूल निवासिने सच्चिदानंद रूपाय दक्षिणमूर्तये नमः. Chidghanaya was from his the very consciousness, the Swarupa of the Satchit Ananda, the consciousness, the Chit, that is his Swarupa, and also Maheshaya is the Maha Isha, is the greatest or the head of the Lord of all lords, is the Paramatma Parameshwar, Lord of all the gods. And Batamula Nivasini resides in the in front of the Batavriksha, below the Batavriksha, and whose Swarupa is Satchidananda Rupaya, Satswarupa, Chitswarupa, Ananda Swarupa. To that Dakshinamurti, we offer our pranams. Another Dhyana sloka is Angushta Tarjani Yoga Mudra Vyajana Yoginam Srutyartham Brahma Jivakyam Darshayan Yajnata Shivaha. That means Angushta Tarjani Yoga Mudra. Yoga Mudra we have seen earlier in the main verse that Dakshinamurti he sits in in his form shows that Angushta and Tarjani these are touching each other and there that is the Yoga Mudra or Jnana Mudra or the Chin Mudra. This touches each other. We earlier we got the meaning of this mudra that meaning will be coming in the next line of this sloka itself. Then Vyajana Yoginam, the yogis that putting up the interest to the ruchi with the yogis through this mudra alone, not by any exposition of any teaching, but only this mudra itself is the teaching. By silence is teaching. And what is the teaching? That is given in the second line of this Dhyana sloka. Shrutyartham Brahma Jivakyam. Shruti Artham, Shruti, what is given the Veda, the Artham, the meaning of the main Shruti is Brahma Jiva Aikyam. Brahma and Jiva, Nap Aparaha. They are not different. Through the Angushta, the Brahman is denoted, and through the Tarjani, Jiva is denoted. And we're then touching each other, forming a whole circle. That shows Brahma Jiva Aikyam. Jivatma and Paramatman is one and the same. So Darshan Yajnata Shivaha. So by giving the darshan of this and those who are competent for this darshan and for this teaching and who is competent to give this is himself is Shiva who is established in this teaching. Is the Swarupa of this teaching. Brahma Veda, Brahma Eva Bhavati. It's not different from this ultimate teaching of Brahman. Is one with that. And through this form, through his darshan, through his silence, through his yoga mudra, Giti is by his kripa, divine grace, is Shiva, the auspicious teaching is given, and with the disciples, we are one with that. Then earlier sloka we saw Atma, Jiva and Ishvara. Atma, Guru and Ishvara, one and the same. So we understand or realize that we are not body, we are Atman. And we are one with Guru and one with Ishvara. So this is the final teaching he gives. So these are the two other more dhyana slokas which are not shown in all the verses and not shown in the screen here. The first one was Chidghanaya Maheshaya Vatamula Nivasine Satchidananda Rupaya Dakshina Murtaya Namaha. The next dhyana sloka Angushta Tarjani Yoga Mudra Vyajana Yoginam Shrutyartham Brahmajivakyam Darshayan Yogyata Shivaha. So today, now we'll start the main Dakshinamurti Stotra as composed by Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankaracharya. We'll try to understand its meaning, its translation, and the deep significance, which are in reality, only dhyana gamya, means through dhyana. In Vedanta, it said that sadhana is sravana, manana, nididhyasana. Sravana is hearing, manana is contemplating or cogitating over that, and then nididhyasana, by meditating, by doing dhyana. So we'll do the Sravana and try to understand few significance of the manana here, and then it will be followed by dhyana in our own life. First, the first sloka, the part of it is shown in the screen. Oh, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nija Antargatam Pashyan Natmani Mayaya Bahiri Bhutam Yatha Nidraya. The second part of the sloka is Yat Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanam Eva Advayam Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshina Murtaye. Now let us come back to the meaning. The meaning is, as it were, to him who sees the universe like a dream existing within oneself, or like a city seen in a mirror but appearing externally due to Maya. Two things he is saying: seeing universe as it were like a dream, or seeing universe as it were through a mirror. Two examples is giving. Then the second part of the sloka says, who upon enlightenment beholds the universe directly as his own non-dual self. Salutation unto him, Sri Dakshinamurti, in the form of my own Guru. So three things has been told about the universe. One example given as a dream. Second example given, universe seen as like in a mirror. And the third is given, seeing the universe directly as one's own self. And that self is the one with the Dakshinamurti and is also my Guru who's teaching me this teaching, and so that I be one with this teaching and be one with this self. Now, in Vedanta, this is one Mahavakya when we do Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. Guru gives a Mahavakya. In the Upanishads, Vedanta means the Veda Anta, means the Chatur Veda, Rik, Sam, Yajur, Atharva, end of the Veda, Veda Anta. Anta means in two ways the meaning comes. One is chronological, the end portion of the Veda, but most importantly is the crux of the teaching of the Vedas. Vedas Anta, Anta means the end, final teaching, final goal of the Vedas. That's the Parama Purushartha, that is the Moksha, the Nivritti Marga, Nisrayasha. That is the teaching of Vedanta, which is also called Upanishads. Upanishads is in the one way, it's the books in the book of part of the Veda. And another idea, Upanishad means one who's sitting near the Guru and being taught from the Guru the teaching which removes his ignorance of the disciple. We remember At the feet of the Dakshinamurti, apasmara, ignorance, one demon, Dvaita Rasura is lying, and Dakshinamurti is keeping his right foot over the head of the apasmara, meaning of which is forgetfulness. The figuratively as the image, the demon is given Asura. So that ignorance or forgetfulness, that is the cause of our misery. So by the grace of Dakshinamurti, this forgetfulness or apasmara or the misery of ignorance has been removed. So Upanishad means when we sit nearby, like the four rishis of Manasputra Brahma, Sanat Sanandana, Sanat Kumar, Sanat Sanandana, they're sitting by him, then they're learning this teaching from him, and their misery, their ignorance is being removed. So Upanishad is that teaching. It denotes that book also part of Veda and also the teaching. And there, four Mahabhakyas come. Four Mahabhakyas means in the part of different Upanishads, different very important teaching is there in a very sutra form, very crux form, which is the essence of all the teachings. And through that teaching, when the Guru, as the Dakshinamurti, teaches, imparts that to his disciples, they understand through that teaching the reality of what they are, that Brahma and Jiva, through the Jnana is one and the same, and their forgetfulness or ignorance is removed. So those Mahavakyas are one after another. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma. This Atman is Brahman. That Jiva Brahma Ikka, that is shown very clearly. This Atman is verily Brahman, not different from that. Then Prajnanam Brahma, this Prajna, Satchit Ananda, that existence and that knowledge, absolute, existence absolute, the bliss absolute, and the Prajna, the Chaitanya, the consciousness, is none other than Brahma. Then said Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahma. This I, which the small I, which we identify ourselves all time with either body or the mind and the karana senses and I and mind, these different vishayas in the world. So that I is a false I, but the real I is behind that. When we bring out that I, know that I, like dudher moddhe makhun ache, as Sri Ramakrishna says, that we have to churn it and bring out that butter from the milk. So through the churning, we remove that, as it were, destroy that false I and reveal that real I. And that real I is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. The true I is Brahman. Then another Mahavakya, Tat Tam Asi. Tattvamasi. Tat, that means that you are that. Tvam is you. And Asi is that equality of these two. Tat is that Swarupa, that reality of Brahman. Tat denotes that. That means that. And Tvam is you. You means that whom you are thinking that you are Jiva. And then Asi, it is finally said that you are that Brahman. So these three words, Tat, Tam, and Asi, these three words are denoted in the first three slokas of this Dakshinamurti Stotra. The first sloka which we are reading right now, Vishwam Darpanam, in that sloka, that Tam, that has been shown here. That you, that which you think and you see and you try to understand this world, what we under you. So that is not different from you. In the first one said that the dream existing, like you see yourself in a dream. Next thing, you see yourself as in a mirror. Then finally said, you see yourself as your own, that your universe, which your so-called outside or objective universe, you see that directly as your own non-dual self. So the idea of Tvam, that what who you are in reality, that is by stages, by steps, is shown here. And in the second verse, second sloka will come, that the idea of Tat, that reality, that will be shown. And in the third sloka, the Tattvamasi, you are that reality, that will be again shown from different perspectives. Now we'll break down this sloka in each lines and each words, each, and will come down in detail. So what is the sloka again? Once again, experience the world is consciousness. We said consciousness, that we are already conscious about us, that I am there, that I am doing this, I am not doing that, I am sleeping, I am walking, I am talking, that I am always conscious about this I. So you hear that I means Tvam, that you. That is denoted here. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nija Antargatam Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Bahi Iva Udbhutam Yatha Nidraya Yat Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swa Atmanam Eva Advayam Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshana Murtaye. And now, first coming to the very first line of the sloka. We'll take each line one at a time and dissect and try to understand the meaning. Vishwam. Vishwam means the first line means world, refers to the entire creation. So here Vishwa means drishya. If we try to understand from our own standpoint where we are, whatever we are seeing, that is drishya. Is it not? Whatever we are seeing, that is drishya. And who is seeing that? I am seeing that means I am drashta. As a drashta, I am seeing drishya. Similarly, whatever we are hearing, and who is hearing that? So again, something we are hearing, and some person is hearing. In other senses, whatever we are touching, some person is touching, another is touching, and the what is being touched, and another whatever we are smelling, and another what is the person who's the agent of this actor smelling. So everywhere these two things are coming, like drashta and drishya, the subject and the object. Subject is the person who is acting this, and object is that person is either seeing or listening or touching or smelling, etc., etc. All the indriyas. So here this subject and object, two things are coming, asmad and yusmad. So something I and something you. I am touching you, I am seeing you, I am listening you, and I is always constant, and there is this Vishwa, which is called as the Drishya. This object, it is whatever it comes in our sense experiences. And when we dissect this idea again, we'll see there is another process in between. One is Drishya, one is Drashta, and the process of seeing this is called Darshan. Is it not? Drishya is whatever we see, the object. The person who is seeing that is Drashta, is a subject. And the process of seeing this is Darshan. Similarly, the Shravan, we are doing the process of listening, and something is being listened, and someone is listening. So if we come together all these five experiences, five senses, we may say that whatever we experiencing, there's one experiencer, and whatever we experiencing, and the process of experience. In another word, one is there jnata, who is knowing all these knowledges, experiencing everything. And something which is gya. Gya means what is being needs to be experienced. That means this is Vishwa, or Drishya or Shravan, whichever form we are doing that. And the process of this between this Jnata and the Gya. I am the Jnata, and Gya is the Vishwa in front of me. And the process by which I am knowing this Vishwa, this knowing this Gya is called Jnana. So these three Triputi, these three things are there in all our experiences. There is one Jnata, one is knowing. There is something Gya, one which has to be known. And the process of this is called this Jnana. Like another word in experience, we say Pramata, Pramanam, Prameya. Prameya means Gya, what has to be known or what has to be proved, what has to be realized. And Pramata, the person or Jnata, who's getting that knowledge, getting the experience, getting the truth. And the process of the Jnana, that is called Pramanam. So Pramata, Pramanam, and Prameya, or Jnata, Jnanam, Jneyam, or Drashta, Darshanam, and Drishyam. So this by word Vishwa, we have to think now in this way. Whatever Vishwa is, everybody has his own Vishwa. When we talk as Vishwa as universe, whatever you are experiencing, that's your Vishwa. What I am experiencing is my Vishwa. What another third person is experiencing, that's third person's Vishwa. And similarly, now come to the idea of this Vishwa. How is Vishwa is being seen? How is this Jnana happens? It's saying that Tulya, in the first line, see, Tulya is similar to giving one example of how example of a Nagari. Nagari means a city. How is the city been seen? Drishyamanam. I said that for seeing, experiencing the three things, Drishya, Darshan, and Drashta. So the Drishyamanam, this city has been seen. How? Just take an example of a mirror. Now comes some abstract thinking is coming. Generally, we do not think our objective world as seeing through a mirror. Generally, we think this objective world is outside and it is very real, very true. We open our eyes, we think the objective world is there. Whenever we open eyes, it is there. This is a common idea which we think in day-to-day life. But here, some other ideas coming up that this external world, the Drishya, Vishwa, this experience is like a city which is being seen through a darpan, through a mirror. Means a reflection of mirror. Suppose in your room there are four walls. Then one of the whole wall from up to down, top to bottom, from left to right, the whole wall, suppose one of the wall is only mirror. Other three walls are all little, that may be normal to think with in the begin with. But the one wall is totally mirror from top to bottom, left to right. What will you see through that mirror? You will see that same your room reflected, your table, chair, you yourself, and everything object in that mirror. So here you are in the room, beside your table, chair, everything is there. But in the mirror, in the same room, you're seeing through that the same table, chair, yourself, and all the objects. But there's quite a difference between the table, chair in your room directly and which is me in the mirror. Why? Because if in a table chair, if you pour water on your table chair, it becomes wet. But when you see through the mirror, it appears to be get wet. The table chair which is seen in the mirror also, but the mirror doesn't get wet. This is a very important distinction feature. The table chair, when suppose you're burning the table chair in your room, the table chair directly gets burned. But in the mirror, when you see, there also the table chair, you can see the reflection is getting burned. But the mirror is not getting burned. So whatever experience we are seeing here in your room, the reflection, you can see that. But in reality, it is something different which you're seeing. in reality and what you're seeing in the mirror. So this one difference is saying, though it is again very difficult to comprehend in our own life, we do not think that in our experiences are like reflection. That means it is a false reflection or false experience. We think our experience in life is very true in a day-to-day life. But here, Sri Shankaracharya says that this experience is seeing this world is like a seeing a world, any city in a mirror. And then second point is coming. How is that? Still more confusing as it what he's saying. He's saying antargatan. Where antargata? Antargata in between where? Nija. Within oneself. Now it gets more complicated. First thing is, he says everything experience is like a mirror. It is not true. Like seeing uh, in a mirror, a reflection, not reality, like a pratibimba. Next, is, he says, the whole thing, whole experience is within yourself. It is not outside. So it becomes more abstract, more confusing, or more as it were, um, it not matching with our day-to-day life. And how to now put that to match? He comes to the next line of the sloka. There we'll get another example where we can match that. What is the next line of the sloka? He says, Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Bahi Iva Udbhutam Yatha Nidraya. Now, before that, let us remember what we have known till now. He has said, whatever we are seeing or experiencing or knowing or hearing, etc., it is like seeing in a mirror, a city in a mirror, reflection like in a mirror. And second point, he said, it is been seen within yourself. These are the two things he said in the first line. Now, the second line he says, Pashyan, that seen, that experience, that which is a drishya we are seeing. It is again says Atmani, within oneself. So he's emphasizing it again. That Nija Antargatan in the first line is saying, emphasizing again that person Atmani, within oneself. Now, how again? Bahi Eva. It is outside as though it appears to be outside. Bahi. Like whatever experience we are seeing, Bahi, outside, it Eva, like outside. We are thinking everything experience, seeing, listening, hearing, everything outside. But saying though it is as it were outside, it is not really outside. It is inside. It is Atmani, within oneself. We are seeing within. Then how it is appearing outside, though it is inside? He said, Udbhutam. This outside as it were Bikram, outside. Udbhutam. This arises outside. Though it is in reality it is inside, but it Udbhutama arises outside. How? Maya ya. Through Maya. Through Maya, then another new point here has come out. Through Maya, it comes outside or appears to be outside. So now we got 3 points. First sloka, first line, we got it is a reflection like a mirror. Second point, it was said it is within, it is not outside. Now the second line he said why it is appearing to be outside. He gives the answer. It is through Maya. And what is Maya? We'll come back to that. So third point. Now he gives example of that Maya. So the Yatha, just like what? Just like Nidraya in sleep. In this context, it means in dream. In Nidra, we have two phases. In medical terms, will say REM sleep and non-REM sleep. REM means rapid eye movement sleep, and non-REM, non-rapid eye movement sleep. And our Bharatiya Darshana said sleep has two components. One is Sushupti, one is Nidra. Sushupti is dreamless sleep, and Nidra is, and the Swapna is where there is dream, sleep with dreaming. So here, when is right given here, Yatha Nidra in sleep, here it is not meaning that Sushupti, not meaning the dreamless sleep. Here it is meaning that sleep with dream, Swapna. That sleep is meaning. So he said that Maya is like sleep. That's one of the example he's giving of Maya. So now we got four things. The first line we got the idea of reflection like a mirror. Second point it was said it was all within. In the second line we are seeing it is though it is within, it appears to be outside. And how it appears to be outside? He said it is due to Maya. And what is Maya? He said Maya is like a swapna, a dream. Nidraya, which is a swapna, which is a dream during when we sleep. So these are four things we get. Now we need to connect the dots now. These four things, how to bring out into one. We'll come to the third line of the sloka and we'll see the connection. Third line he says, Yat sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swa atmanam eva advayam. What is that? He said, Yah, the one who who does that, who sakshat means directly. What he does is sakshat kurute. Kurute directly he gets it, or he understands it, or he knows it. That of the process of knowing. We remember that Triputi we said, we need to always remember that Triputi, Drishya, Drashta and Darshan. Gyata, Gya and Jnanam. Pramata, Prameya and Pramanam. Here it says to understands or knows or experiences or gets the proof of that. Kurute gets it, understands. When this truth that what is the truth? That it's not outside, it's inside. That is the truth. He said it is always inside Nija Antargatam. And you know that Pashan Atmani, always inside. But though it was appearing to be outside, like a dream. But when he knows the truth that it is all within, it's not outside, he says Prabodha Samai. Prabodha Samai. In this Dakshinamurti Stotra, it is wonderfully, the words are coming in dual meaning, as it were. Dual meaning means the the words has a direct meaning, Vachyartha, we may say, and it has Lakshanartha also. Means Vachyartha means the direct meaning, the words, a grammatical meaning of there, direct meaning, but very clear cut meaning. But when we say the reading between the lines, what we as a phrase we use, similarly, it has some Lakshanartha, some idea which has been conveyed, which is beyond this direct meaning. So this word comes Prabodha Samaye, at times of waking up. Waking up from where? Waking up, you're sleeping, you are having a dream, and in the dream you're seeing so many things. And when you wake up, you become awake. Jagrat avastha, जिसको बोलते हैं, from waking up. Then that is the Prabodha Samaye. What you see? Swa Atmanam, your own self, eva, alone, advayam, non-dual, one without the second, then nothing else. So now, what another meaning of this Prabodha Samaya comes? He says, when you wake up, you see Swa Atmanam, you see Swa, your own Atmana, you see your own self alone, eva, only. You do not see anything else. And how is that self? There is nothing second to the self. It is Advayam, non-dual. There is nothing else. This without second. So this word comes Prabodha Samaye. We said this is Vachyartha, this is Lakshanartha. They are dual meaning. One meaning Prabodha Samaye means getting up, waking up from your sleep, from your slumber, Jagrat Avastha, from your Sushupti, from your Nidra, from your Swapna. And another idea, Prabodha Samaye is when means because what is the result of Prabodha Samaye given here? You know that it is Advayam, your own Atman. So that in deeper meaning it shows Prabodha Samaya means when you know the self in reality becomes not only become awakened by from your sleep, but you become awakened in your reality. Your ignorance has gone away. You are now Atma Jnani, Atma Sakshatkar. Yes, Sakshat Kuriti, the earlier line was there earlier, but Sakshat Kuriti, you know the reality, or Ishwar Sakshatkar, Atma Sakshatkar. So you are now a realized soul. When you realize soul, so Prabodha has two meaning. Again, Bachyat is you're waking up, just like a dream. I'm sleeping in the night, and morning I woke up. There is a woke up, and there is a Prabodha, waking up from your sleep from your dream. But another idea, Prabodha Soma, and Dipa idea, Lakshanartham is you have Atma Sakshatkar, you're no more in that ignorance, like below Dakshinamurti, under his feet, Apasmara, demon was there. So when you kill that demon, you destroy the demon, you destroy the ignorance, and destroy the Ajnana, you become awakened, never to slip again in that ignorance. So that time you know that yourself alone is there, it was there, it will be there. Always it alone was there, there's nothing else is there. And that self is one with whom the who taught you this thing, the Guru and the Srimurti, and also one with you. That is said, Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshina Murtaye. Tasmai, to that whom? To that Murti or Murtaye, to that form, who is Sri Guru Murtaye, who is unto the one who is in the form of my Guru. We saw in the Dhyana Sloka, Ishvara Guru Atmani. The Ishvara, the Guru, Ishvara is the Dakshamurti, Shiva, and Guru and Atma. This is one and the same. This is Abheda. You say the same, he is Guru, my own Guru, and I am doing Nama salutations to them, to that Dakshinamurti. Who is Dakshinamurti is the form of Shiva, that Ishvara, and who is in the form of Guru, and who is the essence of my Atman. When I know that only that Atman alone abides as Advaya, it is the same, I realize that truth. So this is the Vachyartha or the meaning of the this sloka. Now to come directly, what did the meaning we get from this whole sloka now? That these four lines. What is the total meaning we got? We got four ideas. First is mirror. Through mirror we are seeing. Second idea, we are seeing within oneself. Third idea, it is though it is within everything, it appears everything to be outside. Fourth idea, how why it becomes appears to be outside, it is through Maya. Example of Maya is like a Nidra means a dream. Yes, Swapna is a four idea. And now when all these falsities vanish and you know the reality, that is when you know yourself in Prabhu's Soma, when you realize that, when you wake up from your dream, you know that you alone exist. And that time you know that Ishvara and the Guru who taught you that, and you yourself, that Aham Brahmasmi, that I am Atma Brahma, that Prajna is Brahma, or Tattvamasi, you are that, you become that the real I, which you are thinking the different now. The real is one with the Dakshamurti, with the Guru. Ishvara, Guru, Atma is one and the same. Now to come to this example, how by this example this truth has been taught. When we are sleeping, when we are dreaming, what we see in a dream, we see in a dream that so many objects are there, so many other people, so many animals, or so many buildings, etc. This is one thing I see in a dream. What else do I see in a dream? I see myself in the dream. Is it not? I see myself acting in the dream with other people, with other animals, with other objects. And I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm sorrowful, whatever I'm acting, doing, whatever things, experiences, so many things. The second thing I'm seeing in the dream. Third is, I am also, though I'm acting the dream, but I am seeing the dream. If you analyze the dream very carefully, in the dream, I am seeing objects. Objects means other people, other animals, other buildings, etc. I am seeing myself that I am acting in the dream, I am working and doing this and that. And I am seeing myself, I am seeing means I am also there. I am seen as it were. I am dividing myself in two. In one way, one eye is acting in the dream, another eye is drashta in the dream, seeing my dream. Is it not? In every dream, I myself, as it were, bifurcate into two eyes. One eye is acting in the dream, experiencing all the pleasures and sorrows of the dream, and another eye is looking at that actor eye, which I mean, acting in the dream. So now, if we come back to the dream, these are the three things I'm differentiating. One are two eyes. One eye is who is acting, another eye is who is seeing myself acting, and the third part is the other objects in the other people, other animal, and other buildings, etc. So these are the three components of the dream, of every dream, if we analyze every night. Then, when we come out of the dream, morning when we wake up, little bit we may remember our dream, what I dreamt last night. And now, when we wake up, where are those dreams? Where are those objects? Where are those other people? Where are those other animals? Where are that I in the dream which were is acting in the dream, which was being happy, which was being sad? And where are the seer in the dream, one who was seeing the dream always? That's why you are coming out and you are remembering your dream. So when you come out from the dream, you wake up in the morning, all these three things has vanished as it were. All the three things that you who created the dream not there, you think you know that everything was a false thing. But when we are seeing the dream, that times you don't know or don't remember, don't believe that it is false. You think it is very true. But also you act in that and you see other objects. So these three things, when you wake up, all these three things vanish. Neither the other objects or animals or people are there, neither that you who was dreaming, means who was acting in the dream after you were there, is not no more. Neither that seer you who was seeing the dream is not also there. The three people are three things, components of a dream is totally vanished. Who remains now? Your waking eye is remaining now. The waking person, he says that only I am there. In my dream, nobody else was there. In reality, there was no object, no other person, no other dream. In fact, there was no other I also. In fact, this is the same I only alone is there, and that I was a false I, and who was seeing that? That I also was in reality not there. Only this present waking eyes are true. In dream, all my two eyes, one eye who was seeing the dream, one eye who was acting as an actor in the dream, and other objects, all was false. So in this state, when you see, the great truth of Vedanta comes out. When you wake up, you see your one self. That prabodha samaye swatmanam eva advayam is sakshat kuriti. No, when you wake up from the dream in the morning, you know that you alone are there right now. There's nobody else to acting in the dream, nobody else to looking after the dream, nobody else to see the other objects in the dream. So these three are, when you compare with the universe, how the universe acts, Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat. These are three things in the universe. Ishwar, he brings up the universe, and Jiva. Ishwar himself becomes Jiva and Jagat. And who is the Ishvara? He is that Apara Brahma, or that is the Saguna Brahma. And who is the Saguna Brahma in reality? He is the Nirguna Brahma, Para Brahma. So, the Para Brahman, Nirguna Brahma, as it were, not reality, as it were, becomes Ishvara or the Saguna Brahma. And this Saguna Brahma, as it were, differentiates himself or herself in a Jiv Jagat. And through the Jagat, they becomes all the Jivas and experiences all the changes in the Jagat. So, similar fashion, like Brahman becomes through Ishvara Jiva Jagat, the three way bifurcates. Similarly, way, your waking eye Then when we woke up, that I, that Ami, in a dream, bifurcates and differentiates into three. Like Brahman becomes Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat. Similarly, your waking I, waking Ami, in your swapna, in a dream, becomes the three. One is like Ishvara, one is like a creator of your dream. You are yourself creating a dream. And like Jiva, you're experiencing the dream, you're acting in the dream, and like a Jagat, you're seeing the differences, different objects, different people, different animals, everything in the dream. But in reality, all those things were within you. It was not outside you. When you wake up, you know that. All these objects, all this is not outside any real person is there, real animal is there, real happenings are there. Everything was within you. You were only dreaming, thinking of that. Now you come to the next part of that sloka, that it is like a darpanam drishyamanam nagare tulyam. So it is not a reality, it's like a reflection only. Like a nagari, this whole experiences we're seeing are like a nagari reflection in a mirror. When it is seeing a mirror, it doesn't affect. Like in a mirror, when that suppose a building has been burned down, or some there is one fighting going on, some people are dying, or some is become wet, rain is happening. Mirror is not at all affected. Mirror is not burnt. Mirror is not killed. Mirror is not getting wet. Mirror is not getting dried up. Nothing's happening to the mirror. Similarly, in a dream, so many things happening. Some animals coming, they're eating you up, you're chasing them, you're killing them, they're killing you. So many happens. But in reality, when you wake up, you know nothing happened. You are the same which you were, now you're the same, in future you'll be the same. Nobody had cut you, there's no water, no fire, nothing. Nothing has changed, nothing has acted upon you. So that you come to know when you wake up. So these two examples, one is through mirror, another is through dream. And this Maya means this through which is within but appears to be outside. This is Maya, which is not in reality but appears to be something opposite to that. Like Rajyuta Sharpa Brahm. Rajyu, there is always a, it is never, there is never a snake, always a only rope. But you take it to be a snake. Similarly, it is always within, but you take it to be outside. When you wake up, you know it was always within. But when you're dreaming, you know that always to be outside. But it is never outside. It is always within, but you know, come to know that only when you wake up. Like in the uh, Darpan, everything is a mirror. It's nothing in the outside. It is only a show. Like in cinema hall, you go and there is a show on the screen. Light waves come. There is some people are laughing, dancing, crying, and singing or killing each other. But you know, everything is a light waves only. There is only a white screen. Nothing is happening in reality. Like a mirror, everything is a false mirror. In reality, nobody's cutting anybody, nobody's burning. The world doesn't get wet, the world doesn't get dried up, world doesn't get burned. When in the movie, in the screen, such things are happening. It is like a mirror, and it is happening within that. So by these two examples is getting to the point that everything what we experience outside this triputi, this darshan, the active darshan, and the drishya what we see, and drashta. You see, it is one and the same when we wake up. The jnata, jnana, and jnaya. This pramata, pramana, and prameya. The drashta, drishya, and darshan is one and the same. But when you wake up, then you become know that there is advayam swaatmanam. It is one and oneself alone. Nobody else is there. So this is the idea. So first look we did today. And now any observations, any questions, any uh, ideas, Nirmala and anybody else, others, we can take up some discussions.
মহারাজ প্রণাম।
Thank you.
শুনতে পাচ্ছেন মহারাজ?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ বলো, শোনা যাচ্ছে।
বলছি যে I mean, very deep meaning of this. I mean, চারটে শ্লোক, চারটে লাইনেই কত গভীর মানে। আমার দুটো অবজারভেশন আছে। নাম্বার ওয়ান ইজ দ্যাট আই মিন probably in today's world we could draw an analogy with a television rather than a mirror where we can see everything happening,
Correct.
but what is
Correct.
happening on the other side of the screen doesn't affect us at all. I mean, be it rain or fire or whatever, as you have just told. So
Correct.
that is one thing. The other thing that I was thinking was, I mean, do we ever see ourselves in our dreams? I don't know. I mean, from my experience, I don't remember seeing myself in my dream. I see the world, and I am there for sure, and that's how I experience. But I don't remember seeing myself. Might be different. Other people might have seen, but that is another observation. And the third observation is that it's probably, I mean, the whole thing that we're seeing around us is not external. I mean, that's what I understand from this. It's a projection of your own thoughts.
Yes.
I mean, outside. I remember one, famous line, two famous lines by Rabindranath Tagore. He says, "Amar চেতনার রঙে পান্না হলো সবুজ, চুনি
পান্না
উঠলো
হলো
লাল
সবুজ।
হয়ে।" হ্যাঁ, চুনি উঠলো লাল হয়ে, if I remember correctly. So I mean, it's my thought that
Yes.
I mean, what should I say? Which I am superimposing on something, and that's how that thing appears beautiful or ugly to me.
Huh.
So I mean,
That's right.
these are the
True.
things that I wanted to tell.
Huh. The television part is very true. That's a wonderful analogy we can bring. Like in cinema hall and screen, also another
Yes, yes, you
analogy.
just said. I mean,
Mhm.
towards the end, that it's like
Yes.
a big
Today's
screen.
today's life.
Yeah.
Yes. Today's life is really more easier to us to comprehend. And the another point is that idea that ab bhala to jagat bhala. This is a very very important word is been stated in the religious life. Ab bhala to jagat bhala means that as you are, you see the world reflected or projected outside. So this idea is reality is called drishti srishti vada. There are two ideas said in philosophy. One is srishti drishti vada. One is drishti srishti vada. This first slok we said we tattvamasi that mahavakya. In the first slok we did the tvam, that you, how you appear to be. That tvam is idea given in this first sloka. When next day we'll do the second sloka, the tat ideas will come. Tat means the reality, that idea, tat idea will come. And the third sloka, the tat tamasi together will come. So here the tvam, that who you are, that reality is coming up. That is called in drishti srishti vada, means what you, when you look that, your looking or perception is creation. Generally, we think that creation is already there. We are just seeing that. That is a generally our materialistic idea. The Srishti Drishti Vadas, creation is already there. We are opening our eyes only to see, but creation is already there. But here it says from the inner perspective, creation is always only there when you look at it. ওই আমারই চেতনা রঙে পান্নলের সবুজ. When I look at it, then I am creating this world. And when I don't look at it, this world is not there. It's very difficult to comprehend. But Sri Ramakrishna gives one example. To Srima, he says, suppose the sun is up there and below there is a pot with full of water, 10 pots suppose, and every pot there is a reflection of sun is there. And you see, what you see, Srima says that I see one sun and 10 reflected sun. Then you say you break one pot one after another, then one original sun, then 9 reflected, then one original sun, then 2 reflected sun, then finally one original sun, one reflected sun. Surya. Then he says when you destroy the last sun, last pot, what remains? Srima says that original sun remains. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, no, you cannot say that time because who is there to see that? So this is the idea that whenever we see that time of creation, the reflected creation is there. And when we do not see that, so this triputi, the darshana, drishya, and drashta, this triputi is no more there. So there's no more to say that this creation is there for us once we not look at. This is very difficult to comprehend and difficult to believe in terms of even science or today's life, but it is the truth that whenever we see, that time only creation is there. When we don't see, creation is not there. Because through which we see that through the light of the sun, can anyone take out another bulb or anybody take up another candle to see the sun. Because through the light of the sun, everything else is been seen. You cannot take help of any other support to see the sun. Because that is the main original support through which you're seeing everything else. So that comes of idea of Abhalata Jagadbala Amari Chetananaga Pandana Shadu, that is that idea. Drishti Srishtivad. Here is saying that similarly, in the waking state and the dream state, whatever dream state I'm seeing that, it is my own creation. Just comparing it, the waking state I is compared with that Parabrahman or Nirguna Brahman. And the dream state I is compared with that Ishvara or that Aparabrahma or that Saguna Brahman. And that Ishvara is creating the Jiva Jagat in the dream state. Similarly, you're creating your own Jagat like different persons, different objects, different animals. And there also you're creating yourself, you're seeing yourself. That normally you said that you never felt that you're in the dream. But naturally, at least I felt, I don't know what others will say, but most common
No,
we
I mean, Maharaj, I felt that I am in the
in the
dream, but
dream
I couldn't see myself.
I'm not seeing, I'm not seeing that. That also now, right now, you're not seeing yourself. Nobody has seen our own eyes in the whole world. Has
True,
anybody seen his own eyes?
true,
Nobody has seen. Other person has seen his own eyes, or we can see a reflection of our eye in a mirror or like in a photograph. We cannot
true,
see our
true.
own eyes.
Mm.
So that way, I'm seeing acting myself in a dream. And remember something, I'm beating other person is beating me, I'm killing other is killing me, I'm getting afraid, I'm getting angry, I'm getting happy, whatever. So I'm acted in the dream. That I'm
Yes,
knowing in my dream.
yes, yes. I'm experiencing the dream for sure. I mean,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
there, very much present there.
Yes. And in another way, I'm seeing this whole dream also. In
Yes,
one way, if we see very minutely, if we think after waking up, that I was experiencing the whole thing, I was experiencing myself, my activities, and also I was experiencing other things, other person, other objects, other activities. So that was, I was, this Brahman is being Ishvara and Ishvara is being Jiva Jagat. Similarly, that waking Ami, was becoming the Swapna Ami, becoming the Ishvara of that. I was creating of my own dream, and I was being my own Jiva in my own dream. I was creating many other Jivas also, and I was creating my Jagat, where these different objects were there, buildings, materials were there. I was creating everything. The same thing when we wake up, we know that it was within me, like you give that idea of that television screen or that cinema screen. Reading cinema screen, this wonderful one idea by Sri Raman Maharshi gave one chart. If possible, in the next class, we'll try to bring on that. He compares that with the cinema screen, and when light falls from the projector to the screen, and how this experience and how this happens, and comparing that with the Avanatman and this same thing, Vishwan, Darpana, Vishamana. Sri Ramana Maharshi is bringing that ideas. This Rishi Srishtivad. Maybe the next class will bring up that. In fact, this one sloka may require more classes, but will be short in time. So next class will very shortly do, and we'll try to do to the next class. Today I thought we can do 2-3 slokas, but it is such a deep thing. Because you know the Sureshwaracharya when he wrote the commentary, Manasollasa, for these 10 slokas, it became 144 slokas commentary. Please, Ma, you have raised your hand. Bolun, Ma. Bolun.
Maharaj, please recite these lines, these slokas.
Uh, Recite. Acha. One second. Vishwam Dar. This is not like Anushtupchan. This is called Shardula Vikridita Chhanda. This Chhanda is called very difficult Chhanda. It is called Shardula Vikridita. Shardula means tiger. Shardula Vikridita Chhanda means when a tiger moves. We know when tiger moves to eat his prey, or take hold his prey, very stealthily he moves. Prey never knows, the shikar never knows the tiger is being so quietly he comes. Very stealthily puts one foot after another, very quietly, silently, and but very majestically also. Walking of a tiger is very majestic. If you look that, such as his muscles like that. So this sloka is called Shardula Vikridita Chhanda. There are 19 here, 12 plus 7. It is not symmetrical also. Just every line you will see 12 first part, then 7 second part. 12 burner, then 7, then 12 plus 7, 19 happens. Vishwan Darpana Drishamana Nagaritullu Nija Antargatam Pashan Atmani Mayaya Vairidu Yatha Nidraya Yat Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swamatmanam Eva Advayam Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshina Murtaye. Everywhere this 12 and 7, 12 and 7, 12 and 7, it will come, total 19 will come. So it is tune is also there, but tune is quite difficult, and right now I don't remember the tune. I'm out of practice of the tune. We did
Oh,
that earlier. So right
Maharaj,
now.
in the YouTube, there are very nice recitations of Dakshinamurti.
Yes, yes. If we can find out, we can give it, share in the group also later on.
Okay, Maharaj, I'll share.
And there may be different tunes also. In Ramkrishna Mission, in training center, we used to do one of the tune, but outside there may be different tunes. All are valid. Because for Shruti only, one fixed rule is there. Shruti you cannot change. When it is comes from the Veda Upanishad, you cannot change tune in your own way. Whatever is in Shruti, Udatta, Anudatta, Swari, it should be same. Whoever recites them. But for the other slokas, Smriti, you can change tunes. Ma, bolun.
হ্যাঁ, মহারাজ এই অবস্থাটা কি তুরীয় অবস্থা না যোগনিদ্রা অবস্থা? অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমার কোনো আইডিয়া নেই তুরীয় আর যোগনিদ্রার মধ্যে কি ডিফারেন্স। হ্যাঁ, এটা কি অবস্থা এক্স্যাক্টলি?
Yoganidra, when we are saying it is, we are just using one word. In Mandika Upanishad, better if we come to the Vedantic terms, in Mandika Upanishad, there comes the Brahma Chatushpada, that one state is Jagrat, another is Swapna, another is Sushupti, and the fourth is Turiya. Or sometimes it is called Turiya Tita. Turiya Tita means it is beyond the word. Like Om or Uma and the Omkaralat Ma is when it is continued, the Ma, that resonance is being continued. So this is called when we wake up from that state. The Prabodha Samay is comparing when we wake up from that, like daily we are waking up from the dream and we wake up in the morning. Similarly, when we wake up from this ignorance of this world, so that is called Turiya. But Yoganudra part, if you say in another way, that when Sri Ramakrishna says that Manush কেমন হবে না jante mora, or in Gita it is said that when the worldly people were sleeps, the yogi wakes up. And where yogi is sleeping, the world people are waking up there. So that means in Vishaya. In that idea, you can say that Manush Jante Mara, that when waking state also will be, should not be, remember that this world is a dream, world is false, and Jante Mara that way. He should act in the world. That Kamarshalar Haturi, even Dorbanatsu, Tarkona Bikani that way. And in Gita, it is said like that when you're sleeping, world is sleeping, you are awake means the world is awake to the senses, but the yogi is always awake to the reality. The Sakshat Prabodha Swami is always awake to the reality. So that Yoga Nidra, you may use another different terms, but the main idea is that you're already, you have been awake from the falsity of life. That when you're thinking that you're duality of life, that we are like in a dream, we're thinking so many things like this and that. Similarly, like Sri Ramakrishna says a wonderful that story. One, the fisherman or suppose plowman, suppose Krishan, he was he woke up and he said that his wife said, "My son has died," but he was not crying. He said, "When I was sleeping, I saw that I got four or three sons, and I was king that time. And when I woke up, so those my king, being my king, and my four, five sons, every day has vanished. For which should I now repent? For those my being of king in my dream, four or five sons, or only one son being dying in this my waking state." So that time he understands that all these things are only falsity. It is nothing different from this dreamlike state. This waking state is also a dream. Only it happens to be a dream, happens to be true when we are waking. But when we truly wake up, Prabodha Samaya means truly wake up to the reality, Atma Sakshatkar. That time we'll know this our waking state also is a dream, but only then we will know. So this way it is called Turiya or Yoganidra, as you said, that to be awakened to that state of the reality.
Maharaj, just one point I want to make, but we don't have enough time to discuss for sure, but we can do it later. So, I mean,
Ah,
what we're discussing is very hardcore Advaitism at the moment. So, how does law
very.
of karma fit into these Advaitic principles? I mean, is it not applicable when we are in Advaita?
When we realize the truth in reality, it is said that jnana means akarma and ajnana means karma. When we really have this jnana, knowledge, and true, not by this intellectual understanding which we are trying to do, not by intelligence, not at all, not by stravana, not by manana only, but when we do sakshat reality, then this karma doesn't affect at all. Because that time you will know that everything is that I am not this actor of this thing or everything. It is Ishvara is the actor, is Akarta, and I am the Akarta. Ishvara is the Akarta. That time we know. But before that, when we are in the dream, like whatever acting, we are getting angry, we are getting happy, we are getting sad, we are getting affected by our dream act during the dream time. When we wake up, we know everything was false, and suppose we had killed somebody else in a dream. I know it is just fault. It didn't act on me anyway. I did some good act, did some bad act in my dream. When I wake up, I know everything was false. That action didn't affect anyway. But during a dream, it was affecting myself. I was getting, suppose a tiger was chasing me, I was getting afraid. I was killing or whatever happening, I was getting afraid. So when we are in the ajnana state, means whether we talk of Advaita or not, still we will not realize that reality that I alone am there, which is shown, everything is within me. Unless we realize that in truth, not by this theoretical understanding, not by this intellectual understanding, but in reality, without any doubt. Till then, this karma will act, it will fructify, it will act. Because if it is not there, then Sri Ramakrishna said that Papa would have increased. That we would think that everything is false, that like that example is there, the Sri Ramakrishna's time when a monk came and he said that Advaita Vedanta, everything false, so nothing affects like that. But it will be a false thing. It will be a bhandami because we are not one with that truth. So all the karma act will follow unless we realize everything karma act will follow. Nothing
Okay.
can be put out.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you. Very
So,
nice.
yes,
Very nice. Thank you.
yes. So the Drishti Srishtivada and the next slok will come. We'll say that today we did only the Tvam part. It is not the completion of the ideas. Tattvamasi, the Tvam, that you, how you are, that reality has been shown only in this first sloka. The Tat part will be shown in the next sloka, sloka number 2. And the Tattvamasi, that together all this thing, Tattvamasi, you are that will come in the third sloka. So you have done only the fraction of that. And there also the Drishti Srishtivada we have done. And there are other ideas, the Srishti Drishtivada, when the regression is there. And that idea will come in the second sloka, Srishti Drishtivada. Means creation is, Ishwar is creating that, he's being an Upadana Nimittakaran, that will come in the second sloka. So that will come together again, many concepts are still there. But again, we need to do this, our own manana and nidhyasana. Intellectual understanding is just a fraction, nothing, it won't help much. But we need to do our own manana nidhyasana in our own time, in a day-to-day life, in our dhyana time, regular time, or in the waking other work also. We need to try to be act like this, that we are this witness of this. Drashta, yes, sir. Just we have to try again and again, and with time, when our karma samskara falls off, in that time, only in by the grace of Lord, we'll know that in reality. So let us end today. No more questions. And Nirmala, then you can chant this sloka. This sloka itself we can end. This first
Uh,
sloka.
uh.
Slowly you can chant. Others also can chant together.
So shall I
Nirmala.
chant part by part or the whole one?
Part by part. Others also can chant them together if they want. You can switch on the phone also. Others.
विश्वं दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्
विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरतुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्
पश्यन्यात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया
पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरीदोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया
यत् साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम्
यत् साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम्
तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये
तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये
ओम शांति
ॐ
शांति
शान्ति
शांति
शान्ति
हरि
शान्ति
ओम
हरि ओम्
तत्सत् रामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु